have everybody please take a seat so we can get started?
There, one crazy child.
I'd like to welcome everyone. And thank you everybody for coming. It's a really special night. We get a chance to not only start the Memphis Hall of Fame again, reinstate it, but also have some really great people being not only nominated but inducted.
Oh, sorry.
You don't know who I am. My name is Drake Oakley. I'm the event director here, and I had the pleasure of working with fantastic people and putting this event together. We started talking about this back in November last year, so it's been a long process. And I can tell you, very excited. So I'm going to, if I could, please, I will tell you who the committee is, if they could come up for a minute. We have Chris Fitzpatrick, class of 2001, and his brother Eric. Eric, unfortunately, not able to make it here. We have Ruth and Ted Solkowski, that have been a big part of it. And Ted, class of 68. 68, Ruth? 69. 69. And then we also have, unfortunately, Gino Latart, class of 78, I believe it was. 71, I'm sorry, I was trying to get better than down. He's actually out of the country at this time, so, but he's been a big help with this. And Mark Pringle, I don't see where Mark is right now. There's Mark back there, and Mark Pringle. So we were able to put this together, and we hope you enjoy it. And the idea of it was to not only honor the past, but to have the kids of today, have people to look up to, and try to achieve the greatness that you have, not only on the court or on your field, but also, you know, after you left Memphis. And that was part of the criteria, that you had to excel at your individual sport or coaching or contributions to the school here, to our athletes, but also once you left Memphis. And the more I get a chance to talk to Chris Meldrum and of course Brad Goodney, our superintendent, it's amazing some of the things that some of our alumni are doing now, especially ones that are being nominated today. And I thank you, and I've it's been a pleasure for that. So just a couple of things though. As soon as we're done, we're going to have, if the inductees can drive, they can follow, drive their car, we will go across the street, and then the inductees, just the inductees, will pull in to the football field, park alongside. We have a tented area for you, and then we'll get you we're going to get you introduced to the crowd at about 6:30, 6:35. So I know there's a lot of people over there looking forward to be able to do that as well. Everyone though, please, before you leave, grab a ticket from right there. That'll get you in the game free. Okay? So just try to find there should be a few spots across the street. This way we get the inductees over there, get them settled in, and so they get introduced to the crowd. Also, if you like how today goes, you're interested in buying a video, Channel 6 is videotaping this. You can just leave her $10 in this, or just take the card. You can contact them, and for $10 you get a video of the whole event. So that's that. So, other than that, if it's okay, we'd like to get started. Again, when I call your name, please come on up, and we'll be able to give you your honor, your well-deserved award. I don't wear these glasses because I have to. Our first recipient of the 2018 Hall of Fame. She was class of 2001. She scored over 1,000 points in her career. She was the 2001 League Player of the Year. She averaged 23 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. She was the 2001 Times Herald Player of the Year, the 2001 First Team All-County, 2001 All-State. She also attended Tiffin University, and according to Chris Meldrum, made him a lot better coach. So, Lindsay Redlaw. What we're having is this plaque here will go onto the Helen Halls here in Memphis, so all our students can do it. We also have a plaque for you to take home, for you and your family to enjoy. And we also have, tell us your size, we'll get you a t-shirt, and if you have anything you'd like to say. We're not letting off that easy now, but,
It's an honor. I appreciate it. Obviously, when I was at Memphis, I had a ton of support. Belgium was still to this day one of the best coaches I've had. So thank you.
we let her off the hook pretty easy there. Our next applicant's not able to make it today. He's actually unfortunately out of town with one of his sons playing hockey. But he was in the class of '92. He was a four-year varsity player, basketball player. Regional finals in 1989 and 1992. He was 1990, 91, 92 all STA. 1991, 92 first team all Blue Water. 1992 Class C All-State. He played and lettered in varsity football as well, and he attended and played at Albion. And Jody, if you're here, I'd like you to, I guess you're here to accept his award. This is Brett Gudnick. I guess he said you were going to accept his award.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He's putting it on you, so.
Can I make a speech on his behalf?
On his behalf, right?
I really don't know what to say. Thank you.
Well, don't go too far.
All right.
Actually, don't go far at all.
All right.
Well, it's no guess who this next person is. It is Jody Solkowski, also class of 1992. Jody, you have the school record for most points scored in school history of 1,262 points. You're a four-year varsity basketball player. Regional finals in 1989 and 1992. 1991, 92, all by county. Four-year, also all STA. And you were also the 1992 Class C All-State. You attended Albion College in Central Michigan. Congratulations. 2018. Now you have to talk now.
I guess I'd just like to say thanks for putting this together. And honestly, you know, we wouldn't have this here with us, or I wouldn't have this without my parents, Mr. Nowinski, and Coach Velko. So I'd like to say thank you to them and all the other guys that are here with us.
Now this next gentleman, I've heard so many good things about, and you know, one of the things that, one of the first things I saw when I got here was how excited we were that we did have a state champion. And this gentleman, I'm not gonna lie to you, heard nothing but good things about him. And I'm gonna let him talk mostly about it, but he's class of 1995. He's our only true high school MSSA state champion. 1995 wrestling state champion, Nathan Churchill.
Yep.
So glad you can make it, Nathan. My pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't talk much. I always let Coach Mark talk do all the talking. When he gets up here, he can talk.
That's about how he texts too. Yep, no, yep. Thank you, Nathan. Now we had, you know, there's so many people after 20 years. I mean, the names, actually, since we've actually started this, I think the names have become endless of people that are deserving to get on here. What the committee did is, after we had a lot of those names in, we broke it down, and we wanted to have some, you know, student athletes here, which you've just witnessed. We also looked at trying to have, if there was any coaches deserving, and any teams deserving, and the 1992 team, boys basketball, coached by Tom Velko, were nominated and then were accepted or voted on to be unanimously voted in with an undefeated season. You can see why with the two, not only the two people that got honored here today, but also so many other athletes on the team, you know, that have done well on the court as well as after. We have a board member, we have a superintendent. So it's a very wonderful team. If Coach Todd Velko come up for the 1992 boys basketball team, which is 20-0.
I'd like to obviously thank Ken Valinsky for hiring me. 22 years old, and they took a chance. It's somebody probably that they didn't have to for sure, and maybe thought after they saw me screaming and yelling a few times that maybe they shouldn't have. But I was blessed with, obviously you saw the two players tonight, but we were I fell into a gold mine, and it just kind of took off from there. We had great players. I think one thing that we brought in was some discipline and heart and a good work ethic, and that's something I've coached 29 years now, and I might not know a lot of X's and O's, but I think our kids always play hard, and I think that with the talent that obviously Ted and Mr. Diener and a lot of those guys got those kids playing since they were fourth grade, third grade. They played together, and I was just blessed to be a part of that. So really, the kudos go to those people. I was here for 6 years. It was still some of the best years, and I've coached at higher level high school and college now, and those were as good as 6 years as I've had. So thank you for that. Thanks to the players.
Now, this other team that was voted in on was again a unanimous decision once they were nominated amongst some of the other teams. And this one, after talking to the coach quite a bit about it, I can see why. The coach, Chris Meldrum, the 2005-2006 girls basketball team was 20-0. And I mean, just watching them walk in and see Chris, the way they all hugged him and stuff like that, you can tell why they were such a powerful team. I actually remember I coached in another school. We were kind of comparable to them, and it was always, Memphis seemed to itch us out that year because they were a very good team. And Chris, if you'd like to come up and accept the award and maybe have your players come up with you, that'd be great.
If I may first, just maybe say a couple of things. The boys basketball team, I was a senior when Jody and Brett were sophomores, and we had a chance to play them, and I tell you what, we knew that was going to be a great team when they were seniors, and they were an amazing team. Got to follow them a lot when I was still around the area going to college. Coach Tom, know him, and the work ethic, like he said, they put in with that group. They were a great team. And a couple of great individual players, by the way. And if I could also say just a couple of words about Lindsay. Lindsay, you talk about falling into a gold mine, Tom. I fell into one with Lindsay. My first year here, I was hired by Ken, thank you Ken Valinsky, to coach the varsity boys basketball team. I took over for, Tom, who took over for you? I'm sorry.
John Hartley.
Yeah. So I took over for him, but in the meantime, I was asked to coach girls JV, and I thought, okay, I will. And I got to watch Lindsay play as a sophomore, and the next year that job opened up, so I coached both varsity teams. That's when they played in separate seasons. And Lindsay was, again, just falling into a gold mine. She was a unbelievable player, the best woman basketball player I've seen around this area. No offense, girls, but she was very good. Was it your senior year? Did you go to Hawaii?
Before my senior year.
Just before her senior year, she got a chance to go to Hawaii for a high exposure camp. And that means it was during the summer we had to go to camp. So when we went to one of the camps without her, and it was good for the girls to play without her, but then we went to another camp with her, and wow, what a change. Just having her there was unbelievable, and then again, an unbelievable year. 2 years I got to coach her. Times Herald Player of the Year her senior year. Just a joy to coach. So again, thank you, Lindsay, for let me coach you. As far as our 20-0 team, that last part of that was true. They were a team, the best team I've coached as far as getting along. They would, I'll never forget the first game we had here at home. Dana, she asked to make up a CD. And they put the CD on and they're playing and they're all there dancing. What was the dance you did when you jumped around? Count Nine Joe. So they're jumping around to that. And I'm thinking, what did I get myself into here? And it was just their way of getting ready, and they were staying focused. And as you see in 20-0, our toughest game was at Algonac against a very good team, coached by a friend of mine. And we went to overtime and beat them thanks to a last-second shot by Dana. And we had a great team all the way through. Great point guard, great big men, shooters, defensive players. Everybody did their job. So it was a pleasure to coach them, and like I said, the best team that I've ever coached.
You're the best coach.
Sure, girls.
Yeah. And the boys, Tom Belko, you could come back up for a minute and bring your boys up. That was one thing. Any of the other boys that are on your team right here? They may have a few things. I know, unfortunately, Brad Gudney had to leave.
We go play the girls at the gym right now. Wait a second. I'll go to Chris.
And again, we have shirts for all your players as well. Chad, you're never at a loss for words. Do you have anything to say about that team?
Great team, great coach. You know, started very young. I'm sorry, we're getting a picture. When Athena talks, everybody listens.
You must look at my house.
You know, started off young, and like I said, Mr. Sokowski, Mr. Hensky, my dad, guys together. We're down in home all the time, playing different competition. It helped. So, then we got coach, who was just like another player, just another kid.
I was a kid. I'm only 4 years older than you guys.
So it worked out great, and you know, the rest is history.
Anybody else over there need to say? Well,
It was just a special time in Memphis, I think, with our run. I know in some of the chats leading up to this on Facebook and that, people talked about how the big games with Richmond and New Haven, and we actually had to turn people away at the doors, and it was a special time and a lot of fun, and you know, it was a long time in the making, and you know, we fell short of the goals, the ultimate goal of a state championship, but you know, we got pretty darn close. So.
well, once again, the 1992 20-0 boys basketball team. Now, this next person, we fell into on our coaching criteria that we were looking at. And you can see we've had so many tremendous coaches over the years here. But this coach, it's funny, when I told him, I said, hey, you were putting that in the Hall of Fame, he said, I'm not done yet. You know, I got more to do. But at this point, the committee found to nominate him and induct him. Again, unanimous choice. And this coach has been coaching wrestling here since 1989. He has 2 league titles. He's going to reach a qualifier in 2000. He had a state qualifier in 2000. And after last year, he has 19 district titles. He also helps work with our junior high football. And I don't think there's a person around Memphis that has anything but positive thing. Nothing negative to say about this gentleman. He helps out in every capacity. And like I said, the first thing he said is, I'm not done yet. I'm wasting time. You know, so, but we wanted to honor him because he deserved it, and he does deserve it. And that's Coach Mark Krieger.
After 29 years, I could talk forever. We got a football game to go watch. Yeah, Drake, well, let me get this straight. I am on the committee. I did not know about this. Right? There you go, okay? Yeah, Drake told me about this, and I said, yeah, I'm not done. You're wasting your money. Don't give me a plaque. The numbers around there now, I guarantee you, are going to change. I mean, and I told him, if I'm not changing the numbers, I'm not coaching. Get rid of me. But I plan on being here a few more years. Going to change those numbers again. Thank you.
Now, this next coach inductee, I mean, there's no doubt that this woman would have been inducted many, many years ago. She was also inducted at SC4 in their Athletic Hall of Fame for coaching girls basketball over there. I do have to tell you a funny story about her. I'll be honest, I was trying to get a hold of her. Could not get a hold of her. Get numbers from Sandra, and every number we had just for some reason wouldn't go through. And we're at a board meeting, and I heard her name called, and I looked, I went over and walked up there, and I said, "Hi, Miss Jeffries. I've been trying to get a hold of you. And just want to let you know you were nominated into our Hall of Fame." She goes, "I came up here to complain. They put me in the damn Hall of Fame." So, at that moment, I could see the fire in her, and I could see why she won as much as she did. Coach Jeffrey coached girls basketball here and taught from 1962 to 1975. She had 9 conference championships, 2 district championships, 1 regional championship. She was the Southern League and Blue Water Coach of the Year in 1973-74, and she was inducted into the SC4 Athletic Hall of Fame in 2015. And I couldn't be more proud to announce Jacqueline Jeffrey as recipient of our Hall of Fame for 2018.
I guess you expect me to make a speech, but, you know, at this point, I really don't have a lot to say anymore. It was an honor for me to be able to coach the girls at Memphis. I did that for 13 years, and out of those years, 9 years, they were championships in their league. And finally, when the state said, you have to give girls the same opportunity as you give the boys, and we had a chance to compete at the state level, they won 2 districts, 1 regional, and lost finally in the semifinals. I think we would have won it, but one of our top guards fell and twisted her ankle, and you know, our scoring went down somewhat, but we were so close, so close. You know, and then the athletic director from SC4 came up to me and said, how would you like to start a team up at the junior college level? Before that, there were none of these opportunities for young women. And I said to myself, you know, this is an opportunity to help girls follow their dream. Because a lot of girls wanted to go out and play beyond high school, but they never had the opportunity. And so I said yes, and the 1 year, because I had so many seniors on the team, I coached the girls team at the high school because they played in the fall, and then I went on and coached the SC4 team at the winter season when their season was. And they were very successful at the college level too. We had a number of conference championships and actually went to the nationals, and we ended up 8th in the nation. So I've been really happy with what these young athletes gave to me as a coach. Thank you.
This next inductee has coached here as well, but these were people that we felt that the committee felt they went over and above what they, you know, their job description was, I guess, here at Memphis. And what this next inductee's been known to drive kids. I think Chad Dieter made a comment to Macomb, and to different camps and just give opportunities to kids that maybe would not have had them otherwise. And he achieved greatness in his professional career, but he also achieved probably even greater things. And I can tell you, when I called him, out of all the people, there was a couple, but he was as humbled as anybody's ever been. When I had the pleasure of being able to call and tell him that he was inducted into the Memphis Hall of Fame. He was Memphis school superintendent from 1990 to 2002. He was a Memphis teacher from 1975 to 1990. He was Memphis athletic director 1978 through 1980. Boys varsity basketball coach from 1975 to 1980. And again, drove kids yearly to the Wolverine basketball camp, drove Memphis to the basketball state finals. And from what I understand, there wasn't a time he wasn't here at the school late at night, talking, working with kids, and always put the kids first. And I'm proud to say, Mr. 2018 honorary inductee is Mr. Ken Holinsky.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor, and we left Memphis for a year and a half. Memphis is still in our heart. And a couple other key things about sports and memories is I got this out of our basement this morning, whatever. This was a tablecloth that was used for about 90, maybe all the games of that year where they won 20 straight. But they met at a house on Main Street. We plugged up all the cards. Their names, their signatures are on it, so they know what the writing was like when they were playing. But experiences, that's one thing sports creates. Experiences that you'll remember when they're our age, when you're senior citizens. You can go back to some games in 5th grade, and Chad did this, and Jody passed here, and the positions they were playing. So sports can, again, create memories, and Memphis has been great to us. Thank you very much to the community of Memphis.
This last honorary member, I don't think words can satisfy, I think what she meant to Memphis. I met her for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and it was probably one of the most emotional times in my life, to be honest with you, and meeting her like this, her family, her friends, and the woman herself. We had nominated her, and when I had the opportunity to call her and tell her back in it was March, she seemed very humbled as well, shocked, very emotional about it. Unfortunately, I got a phone call this summer that she was not doing real well and her health was failing, unfortunately. And we were able to, with the help of the company that we used to have the plaques, get a plaque in a very short notice. And myself and Brad Gudney were able to go there, and we walk into a house full of people and her family, and Brad started speaking, and Betty opened her eyes, and they said, as soon as she heard Brad's voice, that's the first time she opened her eyes in a couple of weeks. And when she knew that she was getting the Hall of Fame, I think anybody who was there can tell you it was definitely an emotional time for her and her family, and it touched all of us. And I think it really made me realize personally just what a great thing this Hall of Fame is, and how much somebody like her appreciated it. In my short time, I was able to talk with her, and everybody I talked to has nothing but even more stories. We don't have enough room on the pages to put the stuff that she did. But Ms. Bork was a Memphis bus driver from 1976 to 2017. She was also a Memphis Athletic Booster member. She spent many countless hours supporting Memphis athletes. She gave many opportunities to our athletes and I heard some stories from Mr. Bork. I thought he had $20 for the thing, and they're gone, either giving money for kids to play or working at events, building up credit hours, and then donating those credit hours to kids that may not have had a chance to play, could play. And so I'm very honored to have Mr. Bork and his family here. Mr. Bork, if you could please come accept the award for Betty, your wife. 2018.
this is a great honor. My wife was very humble. She didn't believe she deserved this. And my youngest son, he says, Mom had 2 sons that played football, and they didn't make the Hall of Fame. She made the Hall of Fame. That's quite an honor. Thank you very much.
Well, everyone, that concludes the ceremony part of it. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing, with your family members here, your friends, your coaches. I'd like to start a couple special thanks. One of the special thanks to their kitchen. They did a wonderful job with food. I wish more of you would grab some more food. If you don't, our cheerleaders and football players won't be upset because that's where it's going to go after the game. Please feel free. Second thing, I'd like to also thank Brian Gerstenberger, who helped with, helped setting up some of the stuff in the program with the pictures and stuff like that. The pictures that are in there, except for Jody, are pictures that, and Mark, I'm sorry, are pictures that we just didn't have them, so we took them out of yearbook, and Brian did some work on them. And that's what's going to go up in the halls, but we have them so that if you have a picture that you'd rather have in there, you're more welcome to give it to us and we'll change it out. But those plaques are what's going to go on the walls. Boys and girls basketball team, if you didn't get a shirt, please get a shirt. We got shirts that are for the inductees only. So please make sure you get a shirt. If you can get one to one of your friends or anything like that, please do that. Also, if you remember, if you do anybody wants to get this, they can pick up one of the cards over here for Channel 6. I'd also like to thank the committee for all your hard work and all your effort. And anybody that had anything to do with this, I can't thank you enough because it's an honor to be able to work with everyone here, and it's been a bigger honor for me to get a chance to meet all of you. So we're going to start heading over the inductees. As I said, if you can, in your car, follow. I'll be up by that fence up there in about 5-10 minutes. We'll pull in. And then you'll see there's a canopy area in the corner for the Hall of Fame inductees and their families. It's not a very big one, but it's, just in case the weather got a little rough. And then we're going to get out onto the middle of the field, the inductees, and teams can follow with your coaches. And we're going to introduce you to the crowd. You'll be able to walk through the cheerleaders onto midfield. But unless anybody has anything to say, thank you. And Make sure